Good morning, and mahalo for those words for our teaching, for the introduction. You know, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be here today. I'd like to say mahalo first to the board of directors, to our po'okumu, Pili Maitraub and Po'okula, Susie Osborne, to our administrators, to our hardworking faculty of the Pu'okala Public Charter School. I'd also like to acknowledge Councilman Alina Hara, Senator Russell Rulaman, distinguished guests, parents, guardians, family, friends, and of course, our 9 honorees today, the graduates, the Pu'okala class of 2017. Aloha. You know, today is a special day. It's a special day to celebrate this very special occasion and milestone in the lives of these 9 young men and women. It is also a special day for me, and I am truly honored to be asked, even for just a few minutes, to share this momentous occasion with each of you and all of your families. You know, through the years, I have given many speeches. I have been asked to talk to different groups of people. In fact, my very first commencement keynote address was 20 years ago to the Hilo High School class of 1997. I had just graduated myself 5 years earlier in 1992. And every speech I deliver is different, every message is different because every audience is different. And this audience in particular, the 9 of you, are unique, because it is the first time for me that I'm speaking to a group. I've been asked to share my mana'o to 9 individuals that are all kanaka ma'olu. All 9 of these students are native Hawaiian. And that is truly special to me. You graduates are an important audience, and so I hope what I'm about to share with you will help guide you as you take this incredible step forward in your lives. So let me tell you why it is important that you are here today. And even more important as Native Hawaiians, what path each of you choose in your life ahead of you. You know, today in Hawaii, being Hawaiian is not easy. In fact, being Hawaiian has never been easy. But you 9 represent all the resilience of our past and all the hope for our future. You 9 not only represent Hawaii, you are Hawaii. And in order to understand your role in the future, you must understand your past. Our past is where we find our identity, our ancestry, through our genealogy. As an example, in the Kumulipo, it identifies 100 generations of Hawaiian rulers, as many as 23 centuries prior to 1778. It is where we begin, and knowing where you come from will help you define who you are and where you are to go. The very fact that you are sitting in these seats, about to graduate from an outstanding charter school here in Kapoho, is a really, really big deal. And so I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you some of that past. 300 years, to be exact. It is the year 1717. 300 years ago, your ancestors, my ancestors, have been here in these islands for hundreds, if not 1,000 years. The greatest navigators, astronomers, wayfinders, and seafarers in the history of mankind. They crossed vast oceans from the South Pacific in search of a new home and a new beginning. Here on Hawaii Island, from Kohala to Puna, is where our most powerful and sacred chiefs come from. In 1717, Kaialiʻi Kaheleʻs ruled Hawaii Island. It is from this great ali'i that we get the name Moku o Keawe, a name still used with great pride today, 300 years later. Kaialiʻi Kaheleʻs was the great-grandfather of Kamehameha I. And the reconstruction of Haleʻo He'ao still stands at Pu'ohonua o Honaunau. This he'ao was originally built by Keawe's son in his honor. On this island came the most fierce warriors, the best and the brightest scholars. And during this time period, in these islands, there were 4 distinct chiefdoms: Hawaii, Maui, Kauai, and Oahu. And they were all ruled by high chiefs, or ali'i nui. The kapu system was in place, and the Hawaiians of that time lived in a sophisticated social system centered around the cultivation of the land and the sea, large fish ponds, complex irrigation networks for kalo fields, cultivated, fed, and nurtured an entire population. Everyone worked together as one ohana to support one another. There were very few diseases, if any, in the Hawaiian Islands in 1717. It is the year 1817, 100 years later, 200 years ago, and everything has changed, and it would change forever. Captain Cook arrives in Hawaii in 1778. Hawaii would become a standard port of call in 1789. Whaling, foreign disease, and capitalism would begin to forever alter Hawaii. In 1810, the Aupuni takes place, and Kamehameha I unites the Hawaiian Islands. By 1817, many of our ali'i nui have passed, and an elder Kamehameha is only 2 years from his death. Calvinist missionaries from New England arrived 3 years later in 1820, and with them comes Western Christianity and a new belief system critical of the cultural practices and nature-based spiritual belief system of our native Hawaiians. But with Western contact and influence come great advances amongst our lahui. By the mid-1800s, native Hawaiians had the highest literacy rate in the world. We had the first educational system west of the Mississippi, the first college west of the Rocky Mountains at Lahaina Luna, a daily newspaper written in English and Hawaiian, electricity, and a telephone at Iolani Palace, 2 years before the White House in Washington, D.C. We were a thriving, sovereign kingdom and society. But Western influence came at a heavy price because the foreigners that arrived in our homeland were driven by greed and wanted more. They wanted our very best lands and natural resources. They wanted high positions in our government. They wanted a reciprocal trade agreement with the United States. They wanted the kingdom to turn over control of Hawaiian lands to the U.S. military. They overthrew our government and imprisoned our queen. By 1917, 100 years ago, it looked as if all hope was lost. Liliuokalani died that year on November 11, 1917. Princess Kaiali'i's home, Aina Hau, which once stood on the shore of Apua Kehau Stream in Waikiki, surrounded by her beloved peacocks, is sold and subdivided for residential lots. The U.S. enters World War I. The overthrow of 1893 left Hawaiians as outcasts, marginalized and dispossessed in their own homeland. Traditional hula is banned. In 1896, education in the Hawaiian language is banned. If you spoke Olelo Hawaii, like all of you just did a few minutes ago, you would be physically disciplined. Hawaiians remain largely discriminated against at the hands of a racist territorial government, and in many cases being wrongly imprisoned or put to death by a prejudiced criminal justice system. Our hula and culture are commercialized in Waikiki. Our lahui is impoverished, exposed to diseases like tuberculosis and measles. And there is widespread belief Native Hawaiians are doomed to extinction. Yet, today, 100 years later, here you are. Why? Because no matter how bad things got, our lahui, they never gave up. They never forgot their identity, who they were, and where they came from. They led the Hawaiian Renaissance of the 1970s, the resurgence of our hula, our culture, our language. They fought to protect our precious natural resources, our fisheries, our ecosystems. They lobbied for the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act, the protection of Kaho'olawe, the Native Hawaiian Healthcare Act, and the Apology Resolution of 1993. And today, Hawaiian-focused charter and emergent schools like this one have contributed to the revitalization of our culture, our traditions, our hula, and our language. Technology makes it possible for students, even from the small fishing village of Milui, through the Hibuhu program, to finish your high school diploma. Native Hawaiians now constitute over 55% of the population, or 290,000 people living here in Hawaii. And in 2011, the state of Hawaii passed a law acknowledging that Native Hawaiians, each and every one of you, are the only indigenous Aboriginal Maoli population of these islands. Never ever forget that. So after today, when you go out into the world, stand tall. Kukanaka, stand strong. Be proud of who you are. Live your life with aloha, with compassion, with empathy, with integrity, and with respect. Never forget, we are a continuation of our ancestors, our kupuna. And our kupuna, they are always with us. We just need to ho'olohe, to make sure we listen, make sure we do what is right, what is pono. Today, you represent the best of us, our resilience, our excellence. I see each of you, and I know there are only great things ahead for all of you, for all of us, and for all of Hawaii. Congratulations, graduates. Mahalo nui loa.